realize, how old were you when you realized there was a conflict going on around you?
I was born in it, so I was born those rumors when I was as a kid, and then I've experienced the wars happening and we running around, me losing my mothers and my brothers and sisters were displaced. So I grew more in it, so I didn't understand really what was going on.
Well, there's a scene on a bus in the beginning of your book where two travelers stole your family's food. How did your mother and uncle react?
My mother she's always very calm in a situation. So I was the first person who saw what the soldier was doing. Actually, it was not like they're stealing. It's just they're just looking for a reason to bully us because we are black and we are from the South and we are Christians. So, and they took our tania and they started eating it. So I saw it. I said, "Mom, our tania is being eaten by these guys." And so my uncle told them, "Give it back to us." So they said no. So when they refused to give it, so my uncle tried to get it back, and then we all just got beaten up. And so my mom was beaten there, and I tried to help my mother. Then I was also beaten, and I blacked out.
So this really personalized the conflict for you. It wasn't something that you were watching even if it came close, but this was really affecting you and your family.
For me, that was a moment. You see, the worst thing you could ever do is beat a mother's child. So a child watching their mothers being beaten in front of them, that's big. It doesn't matter whether it's their father. That memory will be recorded for good.
Many of the boys in the village you were living in when you were 7 were rounded up and told that they would be going to school in Ethiopia. Did you want to go to school?
I was always excited to go to school, and my mother used to teach us A, B, C, D, and to learn. And it was exciting to hear like the plane are made by people who went to school, the clothes we wear, everything. So I wanted to go to school to be able to do something.
But you didn't make it.
We actually went to school for a while. So and then later on, that's when we were introduced to be trained.
But you were on a boat that had problems. If you had made it safely, do you think that any of this would have happened?
If I would have made it on the boat to the Ethiopia, it would be still the same because the boat was going toward that direction. But unfortunately, the boat capsized and only...
But you're saying the boat was really just a ploy to lure boys to become soldiers, even though they told you you'd be going to school?
We knew we were going to school. Nobody knew that we were going to be soldiers. If everybody knew we were going to be soldiers, nobody would have wanted their child to go. So we were going to school.
At this point, your mother had been killed, hadn't she? She was killed during an attack on your village?
Yeah.
So is that a reason you were happy to become a soldier?
The reason I was excited to be a soldier is because I wanted revenge. So I have an idea who our enemy is, and I wanted revenge for my family, our house, the things that we lost, and couple of friends. Scenes. There's some scenes there of moments where you see a whole family put in a house, and a bomb an RPG is dropped by the government soldiers. So for me to see that scene, and now I'm told like this is our enemy, and I was told AK-47 it can be able to if you take it as a young person, you're as strong as an adult.
Well, you were very young at the time, 7 years old, but you write that you wanted to fight on the front lines. Looking back, do you think you fully understood what war meant?
Actually, I was trained when I was 8 years old, so I experienced a battle maybe around 9, so I wasn't... At 7, that's when I arrived in Ethiopia, so when I was 8, that's when I was trained. But I didn't know what to die mean, so I saw people die, but I kind of I'm still a child during then, so I don't understand. Death is the only moment you could feel is when somebody's missing in your life, and then you start thinking about the good things they're doing, and maybe that's when you go emotional and start crying. Actually, writing the whole book for me was difficult. When I started doing that book, I started nose bleeding every morning. I'm going to see the writer, and I tell, look, I'm nose bleeding, so I'm going to be late. So 1 hour, I'm nose bleeding.
You're bleeding from your nose?
From my nose. So and my chest used to congest, tighten, and I get tense at my back. And so I asked a lot of question. Why am my nose bleeding? Why is this? I was told there's a lot of tension. You're telling the story and you're holding your emotions. You're not crying. So, but what happened one day, because I was wondering, I'm telling a story and there are no nightmares. Why I'm not dreaming? So one night, I had just nightmares that just came all of a sudden, helicopters, and I freaked out, and I thought maybe it took me 30 minutes to actually get into the normal reality that I'm fine. So you're in a house alone, you have to put on the light, you're confused, your mind is busy, you're taken. So I started having those things I used to have maybe like 10 years ago, those kind of nightmares that shakes me. And when I asked, and I was told, and I didn't want to see the writer because I was mad. I don't want anyone to call me, anyone to try to cancel me, because until I cooled down. But I had to say, let me finish writing the book. Writing the book was the most difficult thing to do.
Do you still have nightmares?
Yeah, I have nightmares. I don't sleep. If I sleep, I have nightmares. I just lie on my bed with my eyes closed. That's a side effect. I don't know. I can't sleep.
Because we hear a lot about post-traumatic stress disorder in connection to soldiers who've gone to places like Iraq and Afghanistan. But I suspect that if you're a child and you've gone through these experiences, it's almost impossible to escape PTSD.
I think for children heal quickly compared to adults. Because I grew in the war, so I got used to it. So I got used to the environment. But the moment when I was in the environment, I wasn't freaking out as much as when I was in a safe place. So now when I came to Kenya, that's when those dreams were attacking me. But the thing that happened with me is I became busy. I'm doing music. So the feeling I would give to a music when it make me happy and keep me busy, I would call it therapy. So now my mind, every day, if I'm not laughing with people, I'm writing songs. So when I reach, I'm really tired. So I have no time to start worrying. The worst thing with the soldier when they left war is when they come and there's nothing for them to do. Because you've been trained to be doing things. You've been trained to fight. But now you're here just idle. So your brain will be attacked by those things. You'll be haunted. And also if you feel you're not being loved, so there's no attention given to you. So there's nothing happening in your environment. And that's why you find the post-traumatic stress become a depression to people, and some of them lose their mind.